Hey everyone, it's been a while since I uploaded a video. I'm sorry about that. It's been really busy with life lately. So for today's video, right, I'm gonna be talking about SIT CS. So in case you guys didn't know or are new to this channel, my most viewed video in the channel is actually this day in the life at SIT CS. Right. FYI, I already graduated. This was filmed like last year at my last trimester. Yeah. So ever since that video, right, every now and then I would get people who DM me on my social media account to ask me about SIT CS related stuff. So this video, I try consolidate all these useful questions and try to share it with any future prospective students that are coming in or are interested. Hopefully this will help. So let's start with the first question. Well, I'll be honest, I didn't choose SIT, right? SIT chose me. I applied for 4 universities, right? NUS, NTU, SMU, and SIT. Besides SIT, the other 3 just straight up rejected me, right? I didn't have a really good GPA. I graduated from Nanyang Polytechnic with a 3.33 GPA. It's honestly, I knew that with such a GPA, it was kind of impossible for me to get into NUS NTU. Maybe just a bit of possibility to get into SMU. Yeah, but I just applied lah, right? Might as well just try. And well, I'm eternally grateful for SIT to shortlist me and give me the interview. So let's start with the pros. For the pros, I can think of 3 pretty critical one, at least in my opinion lah. The first one, right, is definitely their internship program, right. It's a final year thing, graded, worth like 20 credits. Holds a very big weightage lah. But putting the weightage aside, it's a 8 months to 1 year long internship, depending on which SIT program you are enrolled into, right. This SIT internship program is not something that NUS or even NTU offer from my knowledge lah, right. I mean, NUS NTU do offer internship, but not on such a long scale, right. Hence, you are actually graduating with a very long working experience in your resume that you can show to your recruiters, and maybe you can even decide to continue to work at the company that you were attached for the internship, because it's very common to actually get written offer from the company that you intern with. Another pro is that SIT is a applied learning university. So what does applied learning means? Applied learning means that SIT has a heavy emphasis on practical real-world applications, training us for that lah, right? Hence, you will have lots and lots of coursework every trimester, and also your lab sessions as well, like really a lot of hands-on lah, right? Usually in your typical trimester, you will be loaded with around 3-4 group projects, and yeah, you work in groups a lot. So just like in real world, when you go out, you have a team lah, right? When you go out, and this is really good lah, right? It tries to simulate as close to a real world working experience as much as possible, such that they like to market it as SIT graduates are industry ready when they graduate, which I guess is true for most of the time. At least I felt that I was industry ready, I guess, when I went out to my first job. I mean, I think I'm doing pretty well in my first job, really learning a lot and enjoying what I'm doing. The final pros is that this might be a con to some people, but you know, like how NTU NUS has like a module bidding system, right? You get to plan your modules for every semester. This is missing in the SIT, right? SIT essentially plans out once you enroll, right? At least for SIT CS, right? Once you enroll, all the curriculum is already planned out for you. For someone lazy like me, this is honestly really good lah, right? I don't have to bother planning for any of the curriculum because I hear say that the NUS NTU bidding system for the module is not exactly a very fun experience, right? Because you need to like first come first serve lah, right? Fast hand, fast finger, wake up early, and hope that your network is good also because literally everybody is camping for the. I think they have some kind of web system to handle this, and usually it's like from what I hear, they cannot really handle the traffic. That's the funny thing about it. So, yeah, this might be a pro for some and con for some. It's not for everybody, but at least for me, yeah. I mean, there's one thing there's one thing I no need to worry about when I go to SIT. For cons, right? At the moment, SIT is still operating in a satellite campus fashion. What do I mean by that? SIT right now does not have a main campus, unlike NUS NTU. They have satellite campus. So you got SIT Dover, SIT NYP, SIT NP, SIT SP, SIT TP, and SIT RP. So they have one standalone SIT branch at Dover. Then they are essentially sharing facilities with the other polys. So student life can be a bit lacking and challenging at times because of such arrangement. One very big missing factor of what I'm talking about, right, is there's no you can't stay in the campus, right? It's not like NTU, NUS, you have student campus life, right? You get to stay in the school, in the dormitories, all this. That was something that personally I thought I would enjoy, but SIT doesn't offer that, unfortunately. So huge part of student life is already missing just from the aspect alone. Then another thing is like if you want to actively seek out student life, like partake in CCA activities and stuff, right? More often than not, it might not be conducted in the SIT satellite campus that you are often in. Like for my case, all the IT degrees are usually in SIT NYP, and usually most of the CCA I'm interested in when I went to the open house, right, it was usually not on SIT NYP. Most of the time it's at SIT Dover, and usually it's conducted like after 6, so it's kind of a pain in the ass, right, to go there, right? Sometimes your lesson ends as early as 2-3 p.m. Then you just need to like chill in SIT NYP, catch up on your work, then after that head over to Dover at night for CCA, which is kind of tiring sometimes, honestly. The next con is that compared to NUS NTU, right, this is what I hear from my friends. NUS NTU allows students to take up modules that are out of their domain specialty, right? Like someone from CS can pick up modules relating to entrepreneurship, maybe biological science, this kind of stuff, right? It helps you to broaden your domain knowledge. This is not something SIT has, right? Once you're locked into the SIT CS curriculum, you're essentially learning everything about CS. You wouldn't really have that much chance to learn something outside of CS like business or like hospitality, entrepreneurship, this kind of thing, unless you actively seek it out outside of SIT, right? Sometimes SIT do conduct like short workshops on this kind of thing, but it's not always guaranteed compared to something like NUS, NTU, what they offer. This may or may not be a con, but at least it was a con to me, right? Like, I would love to learn more about like maybe they have something more on like content creation, this kind of thing, or maybe even design, this kind of thing. I mean, these are domain I'm usually somewhat interested in, and sadly I had to learn that on my own, right? The last con I could think of was more on an administrative thing, right? So around year 2, I wanted to take an LOA, but just a short one, right? I just want to take a 1 trimester LOA. But if I were to do it, right, SIT don't offer such flexibility. If I did decide to take an LOA, I would have to take a 1-year LOA. So each year we have 3 trimester, right? So during the first trimester I took the LOA, right, means I have to return on the next year's first trimester and join my juniors, which, oh my god, that's not, I don't need such a long LA, right? I wanted to pursue some kind of like startup with a friend of mine lah, but to see how it works out. If it worked out, then maybe I extend LA. But since it was kind of risky, right? I didn't want to take a 1 year, and then if things don't work out in the first trimester, then I got 2 trimesters of like thinking what I needed to do. Right? This is just some small cons. I heard in NUS NTU, they are more flexible in LA. You can just take it on 1 semester, then join back on the next semester. Yeah. Yeah, this is just some small stuff lah, right? I mean, not often, most students don't need to take an LA, but it's just that during that year 2, I was provided with an opportunity, then I wanted to try lah, but well, too bad. Yeah, so if you were to read up on the SIT CS on the SIT website, right, they mentioned that this is a computing science module with a specialization in IoT, right? So IoT is like some stuff on computer engineering already. At least from my batch, right, we were the pioneer batch to incorporate IoT into our curriculum. So I cannot say for sure that what's the current amount of IoT content in the most recent curriculum. At least in my time, right, only in year 2 we had 2 IoT centric module, right? One on embedded system, where you learn how to do like sensor programming, this kind of stuff. Then the second one, right, you will learn more on the communications protocol of IoT devices. Then in the year 3 module, we had another IoT module which was a bit more chill. It was more on like industry relevant IoT content, really just some theory. It was honestly a very chill module lah, right? Hence, from my experience, I personally, if you are worried about IoT taking up like 50% of the course module of the degree, I mean, example, I highly doubt so. I haven't really took a look at the SIT website, look at the modules, but I don't think you should have too much to worry about lah. End of the day, this is still a com science module. You learn most of what com science domain have to offer, like machine learning, data analytics, this kind of stuff. You get to touch on everything. So don't be too worried about IoT lah. If you are not a very hardware person, you should be able to survive, but no worries. For this question, right, this is just based off the what I'm looking at, right? So over here you have the SIT indicative grade profile for 2020 and 2022. So if you look at the CS section, right, in 2020, right, the amount of people who entered this course with a GPA between 3.2 to 3.6 was 68%. Then fast forward 2 years later, right, the amount of people who entered this course with that same GPA range, right, has dropped by so much, right? So this is like, you can imply that, yeah lah, it's true lah. CS is such a hot stuff now. A lot of people who just go in because they want a good starting pay, and they are like very good grades tend to look at CS nowadays, and because of this, it has like made the course harder to get in lah. More like people with good grades are getting into this course. Hence, yeah, I think right now, even with the market like this, right, with big tech companies laying off, right, still got a lot of people wants to go to CS. Hence, I don't think CS is gonna get easier anytime soon to get in. In fact, I think it's only gonna get harder, unfortunately. So yeah, do work hard. For this question, I would say yes. Let me give you an example, right? So in SIT, there's a ICT module that focus on cyber security, right? Let's put 2 fresh grads, right? One fresh grad from SIT CS and one fresh grad from SIT InfoSec. Arguably, I will feel that an SIT CS is more an SIT CS graduate is more equipped with the skills to enter most domain in the CS field as compared to someone who graduated from the SIT InfoSec degree, right? Because InfoSec is right, you're already specialized in cybersecurity. You are locked in that path already. You are probably not gonna learn stuff like machine learning, data analytics, IoT, this kind of stuff. Whereas for SIT CS, right, we actually touch on a lot of domains in SIT CS. We even have a module on cybersec. So technically, on a fresh grad level, right, with a SIT CS degree, right, you can even enter a cybersecurity career as your first job, right? It's a fresh graduation, it's a fresh grad position after all. So usually recruiters would be more open to taking someone from a fresh grad position, right? And whereas for someone from InfoSec, right, they will probably have problems trying to find a junior level position, say in machine learning or even IoT, because their program just didn't touch on that. And the only way you can get some knowledge in those domain, right, is you have to self-study, right, self-prep yourself. The school didn't get to prepare you for that because the degree was focusing on cybersec to begin with. Yeah, so this is just an example lah. So my answer to this question is yes lah, right? At least at a fresh grad level, right, I feel that a CS degree will have more career options over a more specialized degree. This is a question that is often asked, at least during my job search, right? GPA wouldn't really affect salary that much unless you are joining like government companies, right? Like for example, GovTech, the tech program. I remember during their website when they were having the intake, right? They said that one of the requirements to apply for the tech program, right, it requires a minimum of your grade to be your degree, right, classification to be second upper and higher, meaning you need to have at least a GPA of 4. I'm not sure about the salary for it lah, but end of the day, to TLDR answering this question, most of the time the GPA you graduated with will not affect your starting salary. It might prevent you from applying to some position, that I can for sure confirm lah, especially in the government side. Whereas from the private side, if you apply to like US company, Facebook, Google, this kind, right, they don't really give a damn. Yeah, just graduate, know your shit, ace the interview, you will probably get a job. Well, first thing, Digipen is notoriously hard, like really hard, right? It's well known that they have a high dropout rate, which honestly, they are known for that. That's how high it is. And their computing science curriculum lean more towards prepping you for game development, which honestly, game development is a really challenging career to pursue in Singapore, right? The prospect for it is not a lot, right? Most top tier game studio have their AAA teams situated overseas, right? Singapore one, it's not really good. Hence, I don't recommend going to SIT-Digipen CS unless you really have a like super burning passion for game development and you are prepared to like face lots of challenges when you graduate lah. Otherwise, to play on the safe side, I highly recommend to go to SIT-UoG CS instead. If you are 100% sure that software engineering is the career path that you want to go, then yeah, of course, going for the SIT software engineering degree would be the best choice. Otherwise, if you were like me, right, who knew that I wanted to be in the tech field, just that I still wasn't sure what domain that I want to go, right, I tried going to cybersec during my poly days, right? I realized cybersec is not for me. It was kind of boring, and after that 3 years going through army, I really forgot a lot of stuff about cybersecurity, which, yeah, it was kind of unfortunate, and I'm kind of ashamed of myself. But after going through the computing science SIT offered, I was fortunate enough to know what I wanted to do. Right, I wanted to be like a solution architect. So I'll be like I want to touch more on like cloud technologies, like how I architect a cloud system for clients, this kind of stuff, like working with AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and also DevOps related stuff. Right, I for sure didn't want to be a developer. Machine learning seems fun too, but the math involved is kind of scary, at least for me, when I look at like the different algorithm and the math that powers it. It's like boom, right? So yeah, I to answer this question, if you know what you want, then go for a specialized degree. Otherwise, if you are still not sure but you know that you want to be in tech, then go for a CS degree. I could be wrong, but when SIT first launched in Singapore, like maybe 10 years ago around there, I believe it didn't have the capability and resources to offer degree on its own. Hence, it decided to partner up with lots of famous universities around the world to offer degree programs that are joint up, right? But over the years, SIT, I guess they started to have more money, more resources, and more capability to offer degree purely on their own without joining with other university. Hence, right now, if you look at what is offered on their website, there's a mixture of degrees that are joint and non-joint. So I guess I feel that there's more pros to having a joint degree than a solo degree, right? Good thing about the joint degree, right? One aspect is that usually you get to have a one trimester, maybe not one trimester, but like 3 to 4 weeks of exchange program over at that other university. Like for my case, right, we actually was supposed to go over to University of Glasgow there for like a short 3 to 4 weeks of module. But due to COVID, right, our batch was kind of unfortunate. We didn't get to go, so they just conducted it remotely via Zoom with the University of Glasgow professors. It was honestly a missed experience, right? We could have went to Scotland, you know. I mean, Scotland is beautiful. I wanted to go so badly, but well, it is what it is, right? And I guess another thing is having a joint degree. It means that you are accredited by two university, right? In a sense, like for my case, most Singapore recruiters will recognize SIT, but they might have to go and look up University of Glasgow. Whereas if you were to go overseas, University of Glasgow is actually really famous, right, worldwide. It's one of the top 100 university in the world, and its history dates back to all the way centuries, right? Like, I believe it's founded in the 1400s, 1451 if I remember correctly. It's kind of crazy and cool, right? Like, the university is so filled with history, right? You guys can go and look it up. Even I don't know the full extent. But another cool thing is that the university looks like something out of Harry Potter. Like, no joke, man. I unfortunately couldn't visit it, but I hope to visit sometime in the future. If you were to pursue your career overseas, right, I think that your joint degree partner names would come in handy more than SIT. I think SIT right now is still not that well known overseas, whereas the degree that is joined with like Glasgow, University of Glasgow is definitely more well known than SIT from a global perspective. And your degree looks different too. So let me show you. Right. So you see my degree here. Right. I have both SIT and University of Glasgow on it. And let me open it up. Right. Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? See the top left and top right, both SIT and Glasgow's name is on it. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna end the video. So if you enjoyed the video and found it useful, do leave a like and subscribe. It will make me happy. And if you want to know more about SIT-CS, maybe even list down a list of questions in the comment, and I could make a part 2 of this video. Or if you are shy, right, maybe you can just directly message me through my social media. Here, my Instagram is here. Yeah. So otherwise, yeah, I'll see you in the next video sometime soon, I hope. Bye.